Hey there, foodies! Welcome back to another delicious episode. Today, we're diving into the world of pork chops. If you've ever struggled to get that perfect, juicy, and flavorful pork chop, you're in the right place. We're going to show you how to make the most mouth-watering pork chops in just 3 minutes. Yes, you heard that right. 3 minutes. So, let's get started. Are you ready to make the most mouth-watering pork chops in just 3 minutes? These pork chops are going to be so juicy and flavorful, you'll want to make them every week. Yep, you heard that right. Let's dive right in. First, let's talk about the star of the show, the pork chops. You want to start with high-quality pork chops. Look for ones that are fresh and have a nice pink color. This will ensure that your pork chops are tender and flavorful. First up, grab those beautiful pork chops. Lay them out on a cutting board and take a moment to appreciate their beauty. These are going to be the best pork chops you've ever made. Make sure they're about an inch thick, the perfect size for juicy, tender goodness. If they're too thin, they might dry out, and if they're too thick, they might not cook evenly. An inch is just right. Now, season those bad boys. This is where the magic happens. Seasoning is key to bringing out the flavors of the pork chops. Generously sprinkle both sides with salt, pepper, and a pinch of paprika for that smoky heat. Don't be shy with the seasoning. You want every bite to be packed with flavor. Feeling adventurous? Add some garlic powder and dried thyme. These spices will add depth and complexity to the flavor profile of your pork chops. Trust me, your taste buds will thank you. The combination of these spices will create a symphony of flavors in your mouth. Heat up a skillet on medium-high. You want it hot enough to sear the pork chops and lock in all those delicious juices. Add a splash of olive oil, just enough to coat the bottom. Olive oil has a high smoke point, making it perfect for searing meat. You want it hot and shimmering, ready to sear those chops to perfection. The shimmering oil is a sign that it's hot enough to create a beautiful crust on the pork chops. Place your pork chops in the skillet. Hear that sizzle? That's the sound of deliciousness in the making. The sizzle means the pork chops are searing and developing a flavorful crust. That's the sound of deliciousness in the making. Let them cook undisturbed for a couple of minutes to develop a nice golden brown crust. Sear for about 2-3 minutes on each side until they're beautifully golden brown. This will give them a nice caramelized exterior while keeping the inside juicy. Pro tip, don't flip too early. Let them develop that beautiful crust. This crust is where a lot of the flavor comes from, so be patient. While they're cooking, let's whip up a quick sauce. This sauce will add an extra layer of flavor to your pork chops. In a small bowl, mix together 1/4 cup of chicken broth, a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, and a teaspoon of honey. This combination of ingredients will create a sweet and tangy sauce that complements the pork chops perfectly. This combo is going to take your pork chops to the next level. The balsamic vinegar adds a nice acidity, the honey adds sweetness, and the chicken broth ties it all together. Once both sides are seared, reduce the heat to low. This will allow the pork chops to cook through without burning the outside. Pour that divine sauce over the chops. Make sure each chop is well coated with the sauce. Let it simmer for another 2 minutes, basting occasionally. This will allow the pork chops to absorb the flavors of the sauce and stay juicy. This will create a beautiful glaze and keep the meat juicy. The glaze will add a nice shine to the pork chops and make them look even more appetizing. And there you have it. Perfectly cooked pork chops that are juicy, flavorful, and ready to be devoured. Mouth-watering pork chops in just 3 minutes. Can you believe it? These pork chops are so good, you'll want to make them again and again. Plate them up, drizzle with any remaining sauce, and garnish with fresh parsley if you're feeling fancy. Take a bite. Revel in the flavors. The combination of the juicy pork chops and the flavorful sauce is simply irresistible. Isn't it amazing what you can whip up in such a short time? These pork chops are proof that you don't need a lot of time to make a delicious meal. If you enjoyed this recipe, hit that like button and subscribe for more quick and tasty dishes. We have plenty of recipes that are just as easy and delicious as this one. Don't forget to comment below with your favorite pork chop variations. We love hearing from you and trying out your suggestions. Happy cooking, and see you next time.